Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from the MLG offices in New York City. I'm Maxwell Toss. I'm joined by Axlav. For those of you who are wondering why the hell we're blabbering about whatever we're blabbering about, you're like looking for StarCraft. So to kind of very briefly summarize the situation, State is playing in the IEM America qualifiers. He's in the final 3. His next match against Puck. However, a tournament that's going on at the same time is the Red Bull qualifiers. A very important tournament as well. He was also in that tournament. So State had to go play Scarlet in a best of 3. And we basically had to wait for that best of 3 to be finished so we can continue with our coverage of the IEM America's qualifiers. That being said, State, fortunately or fortunately, depending on who you are, was knocked out of the Red Bull qualifiers. He lost to Scarlet 2-1, but I do want to give a lot of attention to that game 1 that State played against her. It was phenomenal play. It was really cool. So State, now that he's done with that best of 3, is going to jump into this match against, and it's me. I think it's me. See my computer? I know. It's not my...
Remember, guys, technology is the vehicle of esports.
Is it going to make it restart? Oh, no. Is this just going to be frozen forever?
I don't know. I was so excited to cast a game.
Yeah.
Because we were sitting here for like 20 minutes of the game. And now this is happening.
Okay.
I think it'll start eventually and you'll just drop. But I'm in the game, so it's okay.
That's my fault. I'm sorry. Because it kind of did it before it started, but then we were coming back, so now I have a chance to remedy the situation. We can cast this. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Right now.
All right, let's get into the game.
Puck against Stuck. Puck against State. Wow.
Pate against Stuck.
Pate against Stuck.
Stuck. It's Stuck. What am I listening to? Do you have a stream? What? I don't know. Someone is trying to mess with my mind, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, yeah. I think yes.
It was an advertisement.
Okay, let's go back and cast the...
Oh, that was great. All right. State against Puck, the loading screen.
Yes.
Intense matchup here. The bar is roughly halfway between both players.
I think it's moving slowly.
I don't know, man.
Just keep your mouse there. Don't move it.
All right. We're going to keep the mouse here. Oh, no, you moved it. You moved it.
I moved your mouse.
All right, we got to get the measurement.
There.
Oh!
It's going.
State's winning. State's winning.
State's going to make it a puck. Oh!
And the real loser is Axel Toss.
I left the game.
He's left the game.
Can you apologize on my behalf if you're an observer?
I'm an observer. I can't.
All right.
Because, yeah, they had to sit there and kind of wait for a while as you were disconnected.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
You're extraneous.
Well, now, yeah. Hey,
you can live in the chat.
What does that mean? Okay, yeah.
It's a big word. Don't worry about it.
That wasn't what. So here's the game. Gosh dang it! What are they talking about? I don't think they knew it was me.
Yeah, they're talking about the long loads.
Oh.
You know what? Just don't tell them, and they're not gonna blame you.
They're gonna be like so confused.
They're never gonna find out.
They know because I left the game. Okay.
They don't.
Good.
If they didn't see it, it didn't happen. If
You're
you
right.
leave the game but no one reads the text that says you left the game, did you really leave the game?
If the tree falls in the forest, does anyone hear it?
I don't know.
Does the tree exist if it falls in the woods?
I don't think anything exists unless I see it, man. Like, like
these
peekaboo.
people in the chat, are they actual people?
I don't know.
I don't think they are.
All right, let's introduce this game. Here we are. This is the winner of this goes up against Huck. The winner of that qualifies for IEM Singapore and will join Scarlet to be representative of the Americas at the prestigious Premier League event.
We got 3 left.
Exactly.
Only 1 can go to Singapore. That's what's on the line, guys. Yeah, well, sure.
Yep.
Scarlet already qualified out of the winner bracket. She booked her ticket to IEM Singapore by beating Huck. Huck is awaiting in the lower bracket final. The winner of this match advances on to play Huck. This is State versus Puck, a PvP of epic proportions. Who do you think will win?
Well, this guy here in the upper left-hand location, Mr. Puck, the blue Protoss, definitely has intentions on winning, opening with double gas, 2 on each gas. Meanwhile, in the bottom right-hand location, we have Roots State, the red Protoss, delaying his second assimilator. Interesting. I think State does that a lot. He's actually one of the only Protosses I've seen who still does that. Pretty much almost everyone else goes for that relatively faster double simulator.
Okay. So PvP. You had a PvP on this game, on this map, a little bit earlier, against Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, based on the volume inflection of your there, I'm not sure how enthused you are about your memories of that game, if that game existed. Since you remember it existed.
That never happened.
Okay.
If I don't remember it, it never happened.
Okay. But I remembered it, and I saw you go in the middle of the map with your army.
Yeah.
Okay, so it didn't happen.
No.
I see you're confusing me now. I don't know if it happened or not.
No. Never happened.
So will something similar happen? Oh, double Stargate.
Both players are going very fast Stargate. Now, I actually feel like Puck is ahead.
Okay.
You know why? Purely based on a Stargate position.
Because it's a little bit further behind. No, that's a great point, actually.
Yeah, and it's more. It's not that the position actually matters that much. It's more the positioning reveals the intent. So, like, the way State positioned his Stargate makes it look much more like he wants to rush out like an Oracle and cross the map really fast with an Oracle. Whereas the way Puck positioned it looks like he just wants to play a Phoenix build. Because Phoenix build, you kind of want to hide the Stargate a little bit more. I mean, both times you want to hide it, but you want to, like, just try to make it a little bit further back. And in fact, we're seeing that exactly like I said. So we've seen State going for the Oracle and Puck going for the Phoenixes. And of course, Phoenixes are great against Oracles, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, the chat is making me laugh so much right now. Someone said they're a tree. You remember I was making that joke about the tree that fell on the first? Oh, God. Shout out to Pranav Baines. You just made me laugh, and you made me lose focus of what Nick was saying. And now Nick's mad at me because of you. But shout out to you, because that was a great joke. I need to stop reading
Puck
the chat.
just juked.
Yes.
Oh, you know what's actually huge here? If Puck can find the fact that his opponent has a Stargate, he'll keep the Phoenixes at home. Whereas right now, actually, he's already hiding them, actually. This is going to be terrible for State. Wait. Puck has no sentry. So even though the Oracle is going to be neutralized, Puck may just die to the gateway units. Oh, wait, no. Is there a Photon Overcharge? Oh, there is. That's big. That's big. Yeah, Photon Overcharge is going to keep him safe. And actually, if he can come here with the Phoenixes and lift up a couple Stalkers, Photon Overcharge will finish him off in a matter of seconds. Here we go. One Stalker being lifted off. And State could be overcommitting here. He's trying to go for probe kills, but he's going to lose a lot of units here in the process. But he's got, actually, wait a minute. Does Puck even have any probes left? I mean, obviously he does, but he's killed
7.
8 probes died.
That was pretty devastating. So now Puck is in a situation where he has to make something happen. Oh, well.
No, it's only down by 4.
Okay.
I mean, the Phoenixes can easily
Wait, did he have an Oracle across the map? Like
no. State
just cut probes crazy?
Yeah, State was one of the Oracle, but it didn't do anything. Just died to the Phoenixes, right?
Sure.
And the thing is State's actually trying to go his own Phoenixes. But if you look at the unit count, it's 4-2, which means Puck can just kill these Phoenixes, or at the very least run across the map and pick up probes. Well, actually, wait. With Stalker reinforcements, State may be okay. With good micro, Puck can pick off a Phoenix here. Here he goes. One Phoenix. Oh, doesn't quite get it. He has to back away from the Stalkers.
Yep.
Just trade some life. But, you know, Puck knows exactly what he's dealing with. So he can just constantly make Phoenixes and stay ahead in the Phoenix count. And it's very, very difficult to play Phoenix Mirror when you're behind the Phoenix count. And the workers are now evened up. In fact, Puck's actually going to get a worker lead as he continues to produce probes. Whereas State is actually just staying at... He's only staying at 16 on minerals, which means that the economics are going to favor Puck going forward. Right now it's fairly close, but as he gets a few more, we can see there his number will slowly approach the mid 700s, whereas State's never going to ever go past 700 with that income. All
right, Puck has a ridiculous amount of Phoenixes. How does he best take advantage of the situation? Because obviously, he's the one who's stuck with the Stargate tech. Is this a situation where you stick with Stargate the whole game? I mean, obviously, the next step is going to be the Nexus, the expansion.
Yeah, I think you're stuck on Stargate, and then it's when you build the expansion. And both players are probably going to think about building that at similar timings, I would imagine. Looks like State is starting to accumulate some minerals. But State has to be so careful because, Puck's bypassed the Stalkers. He has superior Phoenix count. Look at this. He's isolated, or sorry, excuse me, Puck has isolated State's Phoenixes.
Yeah, like Puck wants to engage away from the Stalkers with the Phoenixes. He knows he has more Phoenixes than his opponent. However, he doesn't have the ground supplementation that State has, especially the anti-air supplementation that State has, at least in this area of the map. Oh, we can pick up that probe. He saw it being made. Is probe dead? Probe's dead. He's dead.
Yep. Goodbye, probe.
Bye, probe.
Poor little guy.
Poor guy. Seriously. He was just building... All right, sorry.
You know, State does have a pretty strong ground army, so Puck's having a hard time expanding. Oh, Puck, be careful of that Phoenix. That guy's lagging. Don't lag.
Okay, he caught up.
Yep. But there's no way State can actually come up and attack the ramp. But maybe he could try to warp in like a sentry and do a contain, and then expand behind that. You know, Puck actually, he's not building Phoenixes anymore, which means they can catch up in the Phoenix. Okay, now he is. Yeah, but
I mean, if you're going, you can't miss a Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, it's evened up now all of a sudden. Yeah. Units lost is relatively even. State's lost a few more, but remember, he actually got some probe kills early on in the game, and he's taking his expansion. Of course, Puck will probably expand very shortly. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. In fact, actually, he's not.
He's nervous.
Yeah.
Unless he's trying to do some big one base thing, but I don't think that would be
here
wise.
Comes the probe. Yeah, he's gonna expand.
Okay, so both these guys gonna take expansions. What a little PvP we have here. This is one of those games you don't see too often.
Yeah, it's
12-minute expansions. They both have a lot of Phoenixes on the map.
Yeah, the Phoenix count is still basically roughly even. Now, State's investing in +1 weapons, and if it's just pure Phoenix, there's pure Phoenix. +1 weapons actually makes no... Oh, he's actually going to get a lot of probe kills here.
No.
Photon Overcharge is going to force him away, but I think he got 3 or 4
fleet
probes
beacon.
in.
I see a fleet beacon.
Yeah, and that's actually...
That's not for Tempest, is it? It can't be.
No, it's for range.
Okay.
Yeah. Phoenix range.
Or it's for carriers.
Yeah, I've tried carriers sometimes. I've had mixed success with them.
That was my first thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually a legitimate thought because interceptors can tank a lot of the Phoenix shots, so your Phoenix can get in there. But often you just fall too far behind in the Phoenix count. Doesn't really matter. But what I was saying is the fact that State is getting the Phoenix range. Now, if it's purely Phoenix on Phoenix, actually the Phoenix attack upgrade that State is going for makes no difference at all. It actually doesn't affect anything. Phoenixes kill each other in exactly 9 volleys, regardless of +1 weapons or not. +1 armor can help a bit. But, of course, it's not always just Phoenix on Phoenix, right? As soon as you introduce, you know, random Stalker shots in there, a Sentry Guardian Shield, or things like that, then all of a sudden the +1 attack becomes useful. But it's never as useful as the range upgrade. So I am going to favor Puck here going for the range. And as long as he avoids, you know, any confrontation until that completes, once range completes,
right,
he's
range is so
great
important.
shape.
Remember that game we casted where one of the Protoss forgot range?
I remember that game.
It was San.
No, it was like SOS versus Rain or something like that.
It was a Korean match. It was from the EU qualifier.
EU
for MLG,
qualifier.
For MLG.
You sure it was EU, not Korea?
It was Korea. Yeah. Sorry.
I was like I know it was a Kesper player.
It was Korean
qualifier
qualifier for MLG Anaheim, right?
Yeah. I feel
it was on Aklon Wastes.
It was one of the Kespa players, or maybe it was for. Was it for Dallas?
I don't think it was a Pro League person.
I could have sworn the guy who forgot range was a Pro League player.
First person in the chat. First person in the chat. It's on YouTube. It's not hard to find.
But here we go. Puck does have the range on, and as long as he stays away from State, look, almost all Puck's Phoenixes are firing, whereas State only has 1 or 2 Phoenixes firing. He's trying to clump up, but with the range, Puck is getting 2 volleys for every 1 volley of State. And you can see our units lost is going to start favoring Puck more and more as these engagements go on. Currently, State is ahead by 1 Phoenix. Of course, that's because the range and a fleet beacon are very expensive. But Puck has a dominant control here with the range upgrade, and State's nowhere even close to that. He's just starting the fleet beacon right now. Look at that. He just picks off another Phoenix.
And this will keep happening. And now the fleet beacon's only halfway done, or 30% of the way done. He's making 2 Phoenixes at a time. But how does Puck take advantage right now of this range that he has?
I feel like he'd just keep skirmishing. Yeah. With strong micro, which he has, he would just keep picking off Phoenixes.
Yeah, he's certainly capable. But one misclick,
yeah, and
it becomes a little bit disastrous.
Because State does have more Phoenixes, so if he closes the distance,
yep,
he can do some damage. And that being said, what's interesting is State went for a second Stargate, whereas Puck is transitioning to pure gateway units, Templar Archives, Zealot Charge, and a Forge. So he has the Phoenix range and a temporary control. State, once he gets range, will have a superior Phoenix count. You see, he already has 13 to 11. He's building 2 at a time, so he's going to have the advantage in the air. But by the time he takes that air advantage, will Puck have too much of a ground army for State to combat it? There could be like a timing on State's third base, potentially.
So third bases are going down for both players. That's going to be pretty important to hold. I'm wondering when we're going to start seeing counterattacks and stuff, because both these players, they're keeping the ground armies at home, which makes sense, because if you're straying across the map away from your from your area, then the Phoenixes can jump in and start doing this.
Yep.
At what point do you start getting cannons in middle lines to keep that from happening?
Well, you know, when both players go Phoenixes, it's like Zealot counterattacks are a lot weaker because Phoenixes just kind of run in and pick them up.
Sure.
I mean, if you
attack everywhere.
Yeah, if you can get a pylon across the map, which is really hard in Phoenix Mirror because Phoenixes are great at scouting. If you can get those cross map pylons and you know your opponent's Phoenixes are like somewhere else, then counterattacks can kind of be okay. But I mean, if it's 2 base to 2 base, obviously the ground army is going to be there. So it's more as soon as these thirds are taken, and we can see Puck's actually preparing for that with a cannon. State is not. But what's interesting here is State now has the vastly superior air control, right? He has his Phoenix range done, and he's got, 16 Phoenixes to only 10 of Puck's. But Puck is making this hard switch into kind of like mass gateways and charge lots and Archons. Wait, is he getting a second star fleet beacon?
What? Oh, the double fleet beacon strategy.
This is the next level.
You know what's better than one fleet beacon?
Two?
I don't think so, actually.
No,
I think you want to stay
really.
at one. I tricked you.
You did trick me. I fell right for it, man. It seemed like an obvious answer. What can I say?
I'm sorry.
But this is the timing attack I was talking about. State does have the air superiority, but there's all these Archons in the field, and Phoenixes can't really deal with Archons. They realize that switching over to Void Rays. But is it too late? If you look at the supplies, Puck is significantly ahead. Ground Army State has almost nothing. I mean, you can Photon Overcharge, but against this many units,
that's so much stuff. Puck is up 158 to 120. State has a bazillion Phoenix, but look at all those Archons. Okay, sure, all the Phoenix are going to die. Some of the gateway units, but does he have a response to the Archons?
I mean,
you can't pick up an Archon with the
No,
Phoenix.
ideally he would have. The thing is I think there's too many units. Like, what you can do is if you pick up all the Zealots.
Did he misjudge it? I mean, obviously he didn't necessarily know it was coming.
You know what happened is that he had never had scout information because he was on a defensive when Puck had the Phoenix range.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
If you knew that was coming, if let's say State builds like 10 photon cannons in a wall and just survives that,
yeah,
he's significantly ahead because he can harass so well and just pick up all the probes. Like you can actually kill like 30 probes in a second with that many Phoenixes.
He didn't really have a read on what his opponent was doing.
Yeah, he didn't. Or else he would have been aggressive with the Phoenixes, kill all the probes, make like a wall and defend, and then transition into either like Void Rays or Carriers, which of course can deal with the ground army.
What would be your main argument on why he didn't scout?
Well, because Puck had Phoenix range faster.
Yep.
Puck had like he had the you can only do that ground transition. I mean, you can always do it, but you can only make it work that well if you're actually winning already. Which Puck was. He had more Phoenixes earlier. He had Phoenix range earlier. He had map control for the entire game, pretty much.
Map control is the big thing.
Yeah.
So my counter argument might be, if you know where the Phoenixes are, couldn't you send a hallucinated Phoenix or just one Phoenix somewhere else to kind of scout?
Yeah.
Potentially.
State never had a sentry.
Oh, okay. He just never had a sentry.
I mean, he warped in one like way later on for Guardian Shield.
Ah.
But like he,
because I feel like information is so important in situations like.
Absolutely.
It might be worth getting a sentry a little bit earlier, just so you can try to sneak even, I don't know what you warp in, but something, or to find out what that is.
The hallucinated Phoenix is great.
Yeah, I think just have your...
I think State was just too much on the defensive, and he felt he had to put 100% of his resources.
Yep. Okay.
It's a misjudgment.
It was a good game, though. That was a lot of fun. So that was State versus Puck, Game 1, IEM America's Qualifiers. We're live right now. Axel Toss and Axel, I think we're live right now. The chat is... We're not talking about them right now.
Are we zombies?
We're taking a break from you guys, chat. We're going to take a break. We're going to be back. Game 2, Puck versus State. It's coming up next.